Australian Open Week 2. We've seen some unbelievable matches so far, some shockers, some epic matches, some head scratchers. It's Nate with the weekly wrap-up. Let's jump right into it. Probably the biggest scratcher is, why is everybody booing? Why is there this constant hum in the audience that sounds like they're booing some of the favorites that we see in Australia, including Kyrgios? That's where we first saw it in his match. And thankfully, Kyrgios basically clarified, and upon doing some of my own research, apparently it's a Cristiano Ronaldo chant from 2012 when he was playing for Real Madrid. Basically, it was sí, as in yes in Spanish, and then being chanted SUIII. So SUIII sounds like boo. And the players have definitely responded to it. Andy Murray, after going out, had been playing so well, lost to Tara Daniel in straight sets, said that it was extremely annoying. And then Medvedev, I mean, this guy, right? So he's in a post-match interview with Jim Courier, and he's like, hey, if you can't respect me and you can't stop booing, respect the Hall of Fame, Jim Courier. And Jim Courier's like, they're actually not booing. So apparently they're saying SUIII, it's a soccer chant, blah, blah, blah. And Daniil doubles down and is like, yeah, well, those who are doing it probably have a low IQ anyways. Medvedev. I mean, what do you do, right? Like, you either love or hate him, polarizing for sure, but he's unique. We can say that. So let's talk about some of the best matches that we saw from the previous week. And let's start with the WTA. This match was phenomenal. Amanda Anisimova upsetting Naomi Osaka 4-6, 6-3, 7-5. And Anisimova, after losing her father, having a tough year, coming out red hot, playing some stellar tennis. And Osaka, who didn't look bad, just looked like she was outgunned, immediately said she was getting off social media, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know why, but she looks like she's back in form. This match had it all. Unfortunately, we saw Anisimova lose to Barty. And this was unfortunate. I mean, Ashley Barty's playing amazing tennis, but Anisimova was really dominating, not dominating, but playing authoritative tennis. And in the second set here, had one held serve, and then here, unexplicably, with double break point, just shanks this overhead. And that was kind of it for Anisimova, and ended up losing to Barty 6-4, 6-3. But more on that, and a little bit later on when we get to the predictions. Hang tight, because I am going to give you my predictions for the next rounds, WTA and ATP, what we're talking about as far as who is going to win in the quarters, and I'll give you my pick for the overall champion. So if we're talking highlights, we've got to talk about the amazing victory of Elise Cornet over Simona Halep. 32-year-old Cornet reaching her first quarterfinal in a Grand Slam. She's been on tour since she was 16 years old, so this was a major, major win for her over Simona. Very emotional in the post-conference interview. And just a really cool moment for a vet. This match was gritty. It was super hot. Both players really struggling. And then good to see Simona Halep, one of my personal favorites. Looks to be back in form. Good first Grand Slam back after the injury. But Cornet, hats off to her, played really well. She faces the U.S. Danielle Collins in the next round. And she's had some tough matches finding form there, so that will be interesting. Now let's move on to the ATP. Maybe my favorite match so far in the tournament. Early on, we had Matteo Berrettini face Carlos Alcaraz. He went down. He lost the first two sets before coming back and winning 7-6 in a fifth set. And this was just a gunslinger match, man. I mean, talk about raw power. After the match, Berrettini dropping the hammer, his new celebration. Maybe it's not new, but it's newer. It's catching on. And then we see, the navigational. It looks like Berrettini's he's navigating just one course. He is in form and looking fantastic. He is looking for that final. But that match was just stellar. So with the Australian Open playing late in the evening, maybe you're looking, I just don't have time to go back and watch it, but I heard there were good matches. Go back and watch the highlights of this match, because this one was phenomenal. Speaking of late night matches, I was traveling, just getting home from vacation, caught the tail end in the early hours of Monday morning, and Tsitsipas prevailed here over Taylor Fritz in the 5th set, but this match was phenomenal. Really, watching it, I thought Taylor Fritz had it. In the previous round, he had defeated Roberto Bautista Agut convincingly. I mean, got a bagel in there, some 6-1s. I mean, that's just not anybody does without, you have to be playing extremely well to defeat Agut in that kind of fashion. And it didn't look like Tsitsipas had the correct game plan against Fritz. But he came up with the big shots in the big moments. He just played the big points and kept kind of that scoreboard pressure that we look at. He kept the match close. And in the 5th set at 4-all, we saw Fritz falter, literally huge double fault when it mattered most at 30-all, and Tsitsipas ended up taking it down. So let's talk about who to keep an eye out on, and that is the Canadians, Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime. They have had a tournament. Shapovalov, let me just go through this. Shapovalov, opening round, plays Soonwoo Kwon, wins in 5 sets, ends up playing the American Rally Opelka in the next round, defeats him in 4. And then we know he took down the number 2 seed Zverev in 3 decisive sets. And then his buddy, coming off the ATP Cup, the 2 champions, kind of the same route here. Aliassime defeats Fokina in 4, Evans in 3, and Cilic in 4, finishing last night. So both of these players looking red hot. They win the ATP Cup. They're deep into the quarters. And the reason I think this is significant is when you can pull out the deep matches early and you're young, the amount of confidence that it gives you. Think Stan Wawrinka, right? Every big title, it's like down match point in a 5th set. And it's like you start believing that you can't be beat. Now the problem is that they both face 2 studs in the next round. And when I say studs, we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time, Rafael Nadal. That's who Denis Shapovalov will play. And then Auger-Aliassime will play the number 1 seed, Daniil Medvedev. So let's get into the predictions, and let's start off with the men. So first up, we have Gael Monfils playing Berrettini. Berrettini being the 7th seed, Monfils 17. I'm rooting for Gael here. Gael has not dropped a set in his first 4 matches. Berrettini, I mean, just coming off that win against Carlos Alcaraz and looking in incredible form now. But I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take Gael Monfils here for the W, getting into the semis. He hasn't barely been tested yet. I mean, winning 6-0, 6-1 against granted lesser opponents, but he looks in form, and I'm just going to be rooting for him. So give me Monfils in that one. Next up, we have Denis Shapovalov against Rafael Nadal. Give me another upset. I'm going to take Shapovalov here. Now, this goes against everything my gut says, because Shapovalov has been here before in the big moments where he's just looked in form and then the serve has faltered, or net play, or just not the grit that we're used to. But Rafa, as good as he has looked, it's still early in the season, and I think he's vulnerable. So I'm going to take Shapovalov in the quarter here. So we'll see a Shapovalov-Monfils semifinals. Tell me what you think. I could be completely wrong, and this, of course, would be a Berrettini-Nadal semifinal. So let's move on. We have the 11th seed Sinner against Tsitsipas. I'm going to go another upset here. Give me Sinner. All right, Tsitsipas looking good. I think he's going to gain a ton of confidence with that win over Taylor Fritz. I just feel like Sinner's time to break through is now. And Tsitsipas hasn't convinced me. He has not broken through in a Grand Slam yet. Maybe this is his time, but he knows he has Medvedev in the semis if he gets through, and that's a tall order. So let's get into this one. Auger-Aliassime, if there's one person right now that I think can beat Daniil Medvedev, it's Felix. Unfortunately, I think he could beat him if we were later in the draw, if we were looking at maybe a final, if he had gotten a little bit more confidence. It's not going to happen for him, not yet. I think you got to go with Daniil Medvedev in this round. So let's reset the board and let's jump into the WTA. Again, leave your comments. You could completely disagree. That's cool. Tell me why you agree, maybe why you disagree. Let's have some fun with it. So WTA, Barty all day, easy. Figula has been playing fantastic tennis. I just think Barty is the best woman on the tour right now. I mean, she's just playing some serious ball. Keys, love what she's doing. It's so good to see her in form. She is playing some big tennis, knocking the cover off the ball. Here, Danielle Collins, Cornet, I think this is a coin flip. Collins hasn't been super convincing. Some weird stuff with the serve, especially serving into the sun. But Cornet, I think that last match, I think that was probably taxing. So I'll take Collins on this one. And here, Kanepi and SUIII. I think it's going to be a good match, deep third set, but SUIII, right? Gotta go there. That would be my predictions for those as well. So as far as a winner for each draw, I know I picked some upsets in the men's side, but I don't think anything too surprising here. Give me Medvedev for the champ. I mean, he's been there. He just won the U.S. Open, and the guy just doesn't miss. We saw it against Kyrgios. Kyrgios was complaining to the press, the Australian press, being like, I just don't know what to do. Like, the guy does not miss in the biggest of moments. Kyrgios hitting serves, and if he's not putting a serve in at $140, he's just not winning the point. So Medvedev, give me him as the Australian Open champion, and Miss Ash Barty on the women's side. So fun watching her play. But those are my picks. Leave your picks in the comments below, and what you'll also find in the comment section is a link to check out the PlayYourCourt platform absolutely for free. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, share all that good stuff that helps the business, and I will see you next week to discuss the results. Was I right? Was I wrong? Did I get some of them? Did I miss all of them? We'll find out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see ya.